Lucha, thank you for joining me. I'm going to wait just a few more moments to see if the other participants are going to come. So I'm going to play one more song, and we'll just wait a few more moments. I was playing music this whole time, but I forgot to turn on the sound. Let's see here. Let's do the one with the lyrics again. That's a good one.
Yeah, man, definitely, you know, yeah, man. Yeah, that's your boy. Yeah, man, yeah, man.
Mucha, greetings. Thank you for joining me. I muted the line earlier because I heard some feedback, but maybe they'll come back. Anyway, I want to thank you for joining me. I'm going to unmute. Yeah, so if anytime you have any questions or comments, please just, ask them, ask away. And also I have the chat room open. And hopefully the other participants will join us later. I'm sure some people got the time wrong. I know I've been getting it mixed up myself. All right. So, welcome to today's presentation of KemeTones devotion, chants, and cosmic sounds for healing and raising vibrations, bringing about shifts in consciousness, and just feeling more connected to the divine presence. And so we're going to have this presentation today, and we're going to conclude with a brief presentation on the certification training that is scheduled for January 8th through 16th in Jamaica. And for those of you who are new to our program, KemeTones is a sound healing system that is similar to acupuncture, but we use sound instead of needles. We use tuning forks that are tuned to the planet, these are acuphonic tuning forks. Okay. Yes, if you want to ask a question, just press star 2 on your phones, and that should release you. But I will unmute the lines from time to time. So we have to see if there's any questions. So KemeTones, as I was saying, is based on principles of Chinese medicine, and each tuning fork is tuned to a different planet. And at KemeTones, we take this one step further and make the connection between the planets and the Neteru, the ancestral cosmic forces that live within all of us. So when we have a KemeTones cosmic sound healing, not only are we using the tones to eliminate blocks to the flow of energy or circulation, but we're also invoking the cosmic ancestral forces within us to assist us in whatever we are, we set out to accomplish, and also to acknowledge that those higher forces are indeed inside of us, and we are them, and they are us. And so that's the healing that goes on with KemeTones. Hadiscopes is a sidereal astrology system based on the principles or teachings and archetypes of ancient Kemet. And a sidereal astrology system is based on the actual motion of the sun and the planets across the constellations, whereas the Western astrology system is based on the orbit of the Earth around the sun. So they're completely different. And so a KemeTones sound healing session is incorporated, or is founded on Hadiscopes, the Kemetic sidereal astrology system, which has 13 constellations, whereas the Western system only has 12. And we're going to go into that a little bit more in depth in this webinar. But for now, it's good to know that the 13th constellation is called Ophiuchus and resides between Scorpio and Sagittarius. My name is Tachia Ahmet El-Ma'at. I'm originally from Chicago, currently residing in California, and planning to live part-time in Port Antonio, Jamaica. So I'll be going between Port Antonio, Chicago, and Cobolo. And I grew up in Chicago. I studied physics in college and astronomy in graduate school. And then life happened, and I became a homeschooling, stay-at-home soccer mom, co-op organizing, festival producing reggae artist. And now I'm also doing Kemetic chants and the KemeTones sound healing, and also wellness coaching. So when you get a sound healing session, you get wisdom and experience from all these areas of my life, because all these areas and all the events of my life have led me to be the healer that I am today. And this applies to everyone. All the experiences that we have, all the adversity, all the trauma, all the challenges, they are here to forge us into an amazing, powerful healer, artist, teacher, builder. All the experiences of our life lead us to this moment. So let's dive in. We're going to start with a brief analysis for the full moon that's coming up. And after this webinar, I will be recording or putting together a full moon analysis. But for tonight, we're going to just have a little one here. So the full moon occurs, technically it's full, it's tomorrow morning at around 7 a.m. California time, which is, let's see, that will be 10 a.m. Eastern time or Jamaica time, because you don't have daylight savings time in Jamaica. You're so smart. But the best time, of course, to watch the moon will be tonight and tomorrow night. And the alignment that we have going on, they're calling this the super full moon. It's the closest it's been to the perigee, or it's one end of the orbit, of the elliptical orbit. And that's why it looks extra big. I've seen charts showing how you can actually see that it appears bigger from photographs from, you know, regular moons and super moons. And this one is hasn't been this full since 1948, and it won't be this full again until like 2034 or something like that. So if you get a moment, spend some time with the moon and, you know, put your energies in alignment with what's going on in the planets. So we have, in the sidereal system, we have the sun is still in sidereal Libra, and the moon has just moved into sidereal Aries. So we have Ra Ma'at, which is the sun in Libra, and Jehuti Tamut Amen. And those are the Egyptian or ancient Egyptian names for the planets and the constellations. So what does that mean? That means that this evening, tomorrow evening, this is the time to focus on creating balance in your life, because we have Ra, which is the sign of creation, creativity, and Libra or Ma'at represents balance, truth, order, harmony, justice, reciprocity, and righteousness. So really I could just say create Ma'at, but I'm saying create balance and strong character, because the moon is associated with our emotions, our personality, and our character. And we're in the sign of sidereal Aries, which is associated with strength, power, leadership, stability. It's also, some of its negative qualities are not spontaneity, but impulsiveness, doing things just on the spur of the moment, like letting emotions rule. And so at this time, we don't want that. We want to build strong character, or we'll have tests of our characters through Ma'at Anu, through right action. So we want to focus on taking the right action. And as I said here, not necessarily as in right or wrong, but the correct or the appropriate action for the moment. And, you know, at the full moon, it's easy to become really emotional or volatile, you know, since the moon is in Aries. Aries is also associated with like head injuries from not watching where we're going, bumping our head on things because we're just moving too quickly. So we want to, you know, we don't want to express that. We want to express balance and strength. You know, strength by taking a moment before expressing ourselves, or like I did last night, practicing over and over again the right response, so that when the situation happens, you come with a strong, positive, peaceful presence, not emotional or reactionary, but you want to respond. And then over here, the other planets that, a lot of the planets don't really move, like Heru, Nebuchadnezzar, Asar, they move really slowly. Jupiter over here, Amun, they move really slowly. So we mostly just focus on these fast ones. Set, or Mars, is in the sign of Capricorn. And, for me, that means that we're going to, Capricorn is like a sign of determination or steadfastness, almost stubbornness or compulsive determination to, to reach that goal, to climb the mountain, no matter what it takes, to digest, process anything. So we want to take opportunity of this time to really work with our ego. Like, we don't want to be working for our ego. We want our ego to work for us. We want our ego to be well-trained and acting with enlightenment, like Set does after all the things that he goes through, or all the challenges that we put ourselves, all the blocks we create for ourselves. We want to be steadfast in our determination to win the battle of ego, to win the battle of Heru and Set. And like I say, we'll talk a little bit more about that later, about this battle. Then we also have the sign of Venus, or Het Heru, in the sign of Sagittarius, Pimade. And Pimade, Sagittarius, is symbolized by, I think it's a man and a horse with a bow and arrow. The main thing is travel, mobility, wisdom, expansion, having a goal. When you pull the bow, you know exactly where you want the arrow to go, so you release the energy, and you just with confidence know you're going to reach your goal. So with Venus, or Het Heru, being in this energy, this is a good one. Remain on the beauty path when you're approaching your goals, and not give up just because it doesn't look the way you want, or it's not going the way you think it should go. To remember to stay on the beauty path. There's beauty in all things. There's gift in every adversity. And if we stay committed to ourselves, committed to our goals, we will reach our target at the right time. It may not be the way we want or whatever, but as long as we, don't give up, like with the goat climbing the mountain, we don't give up, we will reach our goal. And then the last one, we have the planet Mercury, or Jehuti, in the sign of Ip, Scorpio. And Scorpio is the shortest constellation along the zodiac path, so the sun is only in Scorpio for 7 days. I forgot to check how long Mercury will be in this constellation. That, of course, has to do with our communications, our intelligence, and so it's a time to express our desires. Scorpio is about our heart's desire, our passion, and oftentimes it's associated with our lower desires, our lower nature, our set qualities, and we want to remain focused on the higher vibration of our desires. We want to focus on desires that will bring an upliftment to ourselves and to the planet. So we have a lot to work on here with creating balance, developing strong character. At the full moon, we also have the energy of Jehuti. So we have a double Jehuti when it's a full moon. And, our communications, setting our goals, steadfast in attaining our goals, maintaining the vision of the beauty path, of the beauty of all things, So those are just some of the energies that we are working with during this full moon. And like I said, I will be posting a written and video analysis after this presentation. So let me just see if there's any questions or comments. Looks like we lost again. Okay, so if you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate. And I'll keep the lines unmuted, but if there's a lot of feedback or noise, I'll mute them again. And once again, thank you for being here. So this slide is just repeating what I said. The best times for viewing the full moon are tonight and tomorrow night. However, it's fullest in the morning around sunrise. Around sunrise, I have the wrong times here, 6:52 Central Time. It's 7:52 Central Time. So really, the best time to watch it is just tonight or tomorrow night. Not try to catch it at its fullest time, because it would be hard to see. But I have a feeling this moon will be so bright that we'll be seeing it even when the sun is out. I think it'll be so bright. Okay, so now let's move on to the topic for the evening, the cosmic sounds of the Neteru, KemeTones, devotion, and healing. Rek-Ab is, I have number 3 here. Rek-Ab is one of the aspects of the study discipline. We have meditate, well, in order. We have devotion, Washu. We have Rek-Ab, which is study of the teaching. We have the meditation, Ua, and then right action. So those are the 4 steps of study discipline. So we're going to be, we're going to be engaged in the study of the wisdom teachings tonight. I'm hearing an echo again, so I'm going to mute the line.
Yeah.
I'm really glad you're here, and I'm going to mute the line for now. Yes, and you can unmute yourself by just going on the little icon with the people's image at the top and unmute yourself. But every now and then I will come back and unmute the line in case you have any questions. Okay, cool. So tonight we're going to go through the tones and some of the chants and some of the healing applications for each one of the tuning forks that represents a Neteru, or god or goddess. And so here we go. So the first tone is the sound for the Om forks. The Om unison forks are associated with Geb. Geb is the cosmic force or the god of the earth, and pictured here in this iconography where Geb is laying down on the ground, and the goddess Nut is in the ark above him, and the god of the air, Shu, has raised Nut up. And so the myth, the legend with this Neteru is that Nut and Geb are lovers, and when Ra created them, they just never parted. And so he decided that they needed to separate sometime so that creation could exist. And so I asked Shu to separate them, to raise her up. And so when he raises Nut up into the sky, then she became the night sky, and that's why she's covered with stars. And she gives birth every morning to Ra. and then he travels, across her arc, and then she swallows him at the end of the day and gives birth to him every day. And they say that if it's a cloudy day, that means that Nut has snuck away to be with Geb again. Just a little joke, but these represent the cosmic forces of Earth and the night and air, and the sun represents the day or creativity or creation. But there's with all of these, the Neteru and the symbols and the myths, there's there's the actual story that we hear, like the one I just told, and then there's the deeper meaning behind them. And when I look at this image, sometimes when you see Geb, he's illustrated with feathers covering his body, and sometimes he's not. And my interpretation of that is that when he's covered with feathers, is that Ma'at has been restored to the earth, because the earth is covered with feathers. That's just my little take. But this represents the process of creation. It represents the process of our awakening every day to a new reality, and we use our thoughts and our consciousness to keep us lifted up, to keep our thoughts high vibration, and not always dealing with the material realm. So when I look at this illustration, that's also what comes to mind. But the most important thing for us right now is to know that Geb represents the earth, and that represents our connection to the earth and our groundedness and steadfast, sturdy, rock solid guidance and protection. And so we use this tuning fork at the beginning of every treatment, at the end of our treatment. We use this tuning fork sound to prepare the body to be able to accept the sound vibrations of Geb. So I'm just going to play the tuning forks and the chimes. So this is the vibration for grounding, and the prayers that we have Ma'at restored to the earth, that everyone is receiving grounding in their activities and returning to center and to balance and stability. So in light of everything that's going on in the world, my favorite Geb song, probably the only one that I really have, is the Om Ma'at Geb song. So let me turn the camera on so I can present that teaching. Okay. I'll just play the chime. Om Ma'at Geb, Om Ma'at Geb, Om Ma'at Geb, Om Ma'at Geb. May Ma'at be restored to the earth. And this first group of tuning forks and Neteru that we're discussing are the ones from the level 1 KemeTones certification class coming up. And then after that, we'll move on to the higher levels of the tones, the other planetary tones that are included in the higher levels of study. Let me just slow down. I get all these thoughts in my head, and I think of a million ways to say the same thing. I can only say it one way. I have to slow down. All right. Now, when we're dealing with the KemeTones, we always use 2 tuning forks. We never just use one. So for the purpose of this presentation, I'm always going to have one of the ohm forks in one hand and the other planetary fork in the other hand, so that you'll be hearing the interval between the Earth and whichever planet or other deity that I'm invoking. All right, so the next Neteru is Anpu, the opener of the way. And Anpu is represented by the zodiac fork, the purple fork in this system of sound healing. And the zodiac fork is the one we use for eliminating blocks or toxins, or like if someone has swelling, you want to release the pressure so the fluids, can flow. Or if someone has a problem with circulation, this is the fork that you would use for that. Or if someone has a rash or a virus or some sort of cold, something that we want to expel from their body, this is the tone to use. Anpu is called the opener of the way. Anpu is the Neteru that escorts us after our body has died, escorts us to the netherworld. Anpu is, when you look at the illustration of the scales of Ma'at, where your heart is weighed against a feather, Anpu is one of the deities that is there to make sure that everything is in order. Anpu is also the son of Asar and Nebuchadnezzar. And Nebuchadnezzar is the sister of Aset, or Isis, the twin sister actually. And Anpu came into being when Nebuchadnezzar tricked Asar, and he thought he was being intimate with his wife, and it was actually his sister-in-law. And so Anpu came from a very difficult beginning, and is also one of the most needed of the Neteru, in my opinion. Is one of the most crucial, because he's the opener of the way. And if the way is closed, there's really not a whole lot you can do. So Anpu represents our discernment to know the difference between the real and the unreal. So I'm going to, I guess I'm just going to leave it open. Oops. What's going on? One of those things. Put that there. Yeah, I'll just keep them open like this. All right. So I've got the purple tuning fork and the ohm fork. So when I hit them together, it's actually a interval. And this is the tone for removing blocks and obstacles. There we go. So I am invoking the Neteru Anpu to open the way for many of the students that are planning to come to the certification in January, to make a way for them to be present, and making a way for all of us here on planet to find a way to bring about balance and bring about Ma'at, now that we have a there's a new change of leadership for this illegal occupation of what's called America. So we're really hoping to open a way for the people to find peace and also to remove toxins. I recently posted a blog about Trump is a pimple, how he's just a symptom of the purification of humanity, purification of all things. And so we want to do whatever we can to assist in the elimination of these toxins and poisons that have taken over our planet. And then, of course, the Anpu song. If I should If you have any questions or comments, please interrupt me. And this is just like a little indication of some of the things that we're studying at the KemeTones class. Where it says, my lips are the lips of Anpu, that means that we have the same power to eliminate blocks as Anpu. We have the same ability to discern the difference between the real and the unreal. When we wash ourselves in the waters, that means we've made offerings and oblations, and we've done the purification rituals for our heart and our thoughts, and that we manifest what it is that we need. We're able to manifest by, using our voice, or these songs, or these chants, or the tuning fork. My interpretation. Anything else about Anpu? Oh yes, Anpu is called the guardian of the female mysteries. If you read the legends of Aset and Asar, Anpu is always there to help Aset. He was there to help her find Asar when he was missing, when his body parts were scattered. He's always there to assist her in her journey. And he's always there to assist us as well. It's always good to call on Anpu when you're feeling stuck. There's really no easy way to do this. So I just have to keep going. All right, Shasheta. The goddess Shasheta. Shashet means scribe. So she is a female scribe, the writer. Shasheta is the architect, engineer, the keeper of records, keeper of deeds, reckoner of time, the goddess, the lady of libraries, astrology, astronomy, mathematics, engineering, architecture, sacred geometry, filing, bookkeeping, records, accounting, anything having to do with number, paperwork, orders, keeping things in order, building things. The librarian, that is the cosmic force of Shesheta. It is said that she is the one who came up with the Medu-Neter, the hieroglyphics, and she shared them with her consort, Jehuti, and he's the one who taught them to mankind. So even though everyone says Jehuti is the inventor of the hieroglyphs, he is the teacher of the hieroglyphs, but Shesheta is the one that created them. At Horoscopes and KemeTones, we associate Shesheta with building a strong personality or a strong character, using all of your wisdom and your intuition and your experiences to build a better version of yourself, closer to your higher self. The new moon energy, of course, is associated with new beginnings, new projects, new ventures, new ways of doing things, new ways of thinking. And so it's always a good time to write your goals down at the new moon and bring them into fruition by the full moon. So let's have some new moon tuning. Where are they? Hiding from me. Oh, right in front of my face. Oh, that's nice. Oh, yep, that's it. In front of my face the whole time. Okay, so we have the new moon fork, which is the blue fork with an Om fork. So we have the interval for the new moon. We're going to take some time, it's a full moon, but it's a very powerful full moon. We're going to take some time to write out our goals and our vision for the future, for our life, and for the lives of the good of the entire planet, the human family. And we're able to create a new structure or a new way of seeing things or a new perspective that can help bring about necessary changes in society. We're calling on the Neteru and the ancestors to assist us. Like someone else. So many messages coming through. Like I say, even though we've got this new president, it's a new era for humanity, and it's time to really wake up and make changes. So that's what this intention, this prayer session is for, that we're able to make the changes, just on the mind, changes in our thoughts, like forgiveness. I've been reading a lot about forgiveness. Everybody's posting a lot about forgiveness and compassion, about how it doesn't mean letting the person off the hook. It just means giving them space to do what they have to do and not being attached. So that's like a new cycle that I'm entering into as well. So, we're just hoping that humanity can wake up and give the toxicity that we've allowed to fester for so long to be released. That's my intention. And the chant for Shasheta is also the chant for Shahuti, so I'll just do them together. Do a Shasheta, do a Shasheta, do a Shasheta, do a Shasheta, do a, do a, do a, do a Shasheta, do a, do a, do a, do a Shasheta, Nupuji Huti, Nupuji Huti, Nupuji Huti, Nupuji Huti, Nupu, 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 Jahuti, Nupu, 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 Jahuti. I forgot to mention the applications of this tuning fork for healing. The zodiac fork, the Anpu fork, is for eliminating toxins and blockages, and the new moon fork, the Shasheta fork, is for a new beginning or for starting things over. Like if someone is trying to get a new job or a new house or something, or they want a new relationship, or if someone has just had surgery and they're starting over, it's for something like that. Anytime it's time for a new beginning or starting something, that's when you would use that tuning fork. And here's some more information about Shasheta. The goddess Shasheta is the female counterpart of Jehuti, aspect of Ma'at Aset, the goddess of learning, construction, and letters, associated with Renenet. Shasheta means the goddess of the seven, presiding over the teachings which relate to the seven realms of creation. In this way, she is related to the seven Hephaduds, who are supported by the divine bull of Amet, Asar. She wears a panther skin garment, symbolizing she has conquered her lower nature. And her symbol is a papyrus flower. A lot of times it looks like a star, but it's said to be a papyrus flower, which is the flower or the plant that they made the papyrus, what we call paper, is made from this flower. And already saying the song for Jehuti represents the full moon, and it's symbolized by an bird. And here are some different illustrations of him. I associate Jehuti with the planet Mercury and also the full moon. So I'm going to do those two tones together. I use the full moon fork and the new moon fork are both associated with water, and for anything dealing with the feminine, pregnancy, cycles, any type of women's issues, blood flowing, water flowing, anything having to do with water and flowing. We use the new moon and the full moon. And then Mercury we use for people having trouble communicating, or like someone has nightmares, someone who has played with negative thoughts, or someone who's having trouble moving, like back pain or arthritis. I would use the Mercury forks for that purpose. Alright, so here I have the full moon fork and the Mercury fork. So here we are invoking the powers of healing and communication. Let's send some powerful energy out to the water protectors that we're able to communicate effectively in such a way that that we can stop the pipeline. And it's not like, you know, this is the only case. I found out that they have pipelines under like all the major rivers. This is the first time enough people protested to bring it to our attention. So this one is going out to all the water protectors, everyone who is speaking up and standing up for Mother Earth, everyone who is out in the media and politics, communicating with the decision makers to wake up and listen to Mother Earth, listen to the indigenous people of the land, to people in communities that have been poisoned by water, that we're able to bring about movements and change and communications that will improve the water for everyone. That is my intention right now, that we're going to use the power of the ancestors, the power of communication, the powers of water to make things better for us on the planet. So since I already sang the song for Jehuti, let's have the one that calls on all the ancestors to stand up. Nebnetu, Nebjedu, Edasu, Ahanetu Dindiu. 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 Which means all words spoken about me, for instance, what others are saying about me, and also from negative egoistic self-talk from inside of me, such as doubts, fears, frustration, anger, resentment, all words spoken about me. Together, the Neferu, the gods and goddesses, the ancestors, all the cosmic forces of unity, stand up on my behalf. So we're asking all the ancestors to stand with us, stand with Standing Rock, stand with everyone who is in their own corner of the world fighting oppression and injustice.
You know, this is study control. This is study control.
Do you have a comment? No? Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes? One to the whole I am total for the sister part.
Okay.
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 Everybody want about their money.
Okay.
I'm thinking, yeah, but you know, people to them, I'm not going to want to give you so much money.
All right. Now we're moving on to the next tuning fork, the Earth Day. Or represented by a hippopotamus. And the attributes of Ta'art are protectors of pregnant women and infants, also protectors of rebirth into the afterlife. We opened up with the Geb fork, or the Om fork, which is the orbit of the Earth around the Sun in 1 year. And the green fork, the Ta'art fork, is for the Earth going on its own axis in 1 day. So it's called the Earth Day. It's the vibration of the Earth on its axis in 24 hours. We use the Earth Day fork for you know, if someone has real sluggish energy, or they're weak, their circulation is weak, or they're, you know, something is just not strong enough, then we use the Earth Day to give them more energy or to like build them up, to make stronger, basically. And to make something more active. You know, some of the forks are for calming things down, you know, for chilling out. Like the Anpu fork, it's for removing blocks. It's also for bringing calm and stillness. And the Earth Day is for someone who's just kind of lazy or apathetic and they need more energy, more power. So that is when you would use the Earth Day. So again, we have the green fork with the Om fork. So we're sending out energy for life, vitality, and health, for wellness, for abundance, for strength, for power, for victory. We have a huge battle ahead of us as light beings on the planet Earth, and sending this out that we're all feeling the power and the strength from the ancestors and from the Earth. Just by being in touch with nature, we are empowered and given more strength and fortitude. That is the intention and the prayers for this tone in Earth. Just got one little chant. If you can repeat, it's Ankh Ujat Seneb. If you're in the Raseiki, you're familiar with this chant. And Ankh is life, Ujat is vitality, and Seneb means health. So it's just a really, not common, but it's a common greeting or closing. Ankh Ujat Seneb. 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 And if you're not sure what an Ankh is, the goddess Earth is holding an Ankh here. It is the original cross. And I have Ankhs on my ears, and Ankhs on my pendant. And then I have a Ankh here, the original cross. And the church basically cut off the top part. The original Ankh represents the mother, the father, and the children, which represents the woman's womb. This represents the man's penis, and their union brings about future generations. And I was talking to this with Regin in Jamaica, and I was like, oh, so they went from woman, man, child to man, man, child, which is not funny, but that is kind of what has happened, or what they want to happen. It hasn't happened, but it's what they are projecting. All right. And now we're at the powerful tone of Ra, the cosmic force of creation, creativity, the solar seventh. Interesting thing about creation is that it's an illusion. When you study the higher teachings, that is that's really what they're saying, that everything around us is an illusion. Nothing is solid. Nothing is permanent. Everything in creation is fleeting. And when we forget that, that's when we run into suffering or sadness, as we get, attached to an outcome. And so when we tune into the tone of Ra, the solar seventh, we gain illumination. And we're able to, the sunlight is able to break apart the clouds so that we can see the truth. We use solar seventh anytime someone is depressed and they need more sunshine in their lives, need more happiness. We use the solar seventh when someone doesn't know what's wrong with them, and we want them to be able to see what's causing them issues. It gives them clarity, like I said, illumination. You never use the solar seventh to like burn away a tumor or burn away cancer or anything. You don't ever deal with the symptom of cancer. You deal with the cause. So you would look for the cause of the cancer. If you're working with someone with cancer, you don't want to zap away their tumor, but you want to see the cause. The creation myth of Ra, I don't know how I could fit all of that into a minute. But I will say that there's a legend, and I have a song about it, that we were created from Ra's tears, that Ra created, heaven and earth and some different beings, the gods and goddesses, different cosmic celestial beings. And then when he realized that the people would forget him and would forget about truth and righteousness and would forget to, be grateful and praise their creator, began to cry because he was so sad. And that's how humans were born. We were born from his tears, from his being sad that we would forget him. And so it's important for us as light beings living on earth to remember our divine origin, to remember our divinity. And that forgetting of our divine origin is the cause of all the problems in the world. Every problem you can think of that you can name, it came about because someone forgot their divine origin. Someone forgot that everyone around them, everything around them is divine, and just went around acting in ways that go against the natural order of nature. So anytime we can bring awareness or illumination into our environment or to the people around us, we're doing a lot for humanity. It may just seem like you're just sharing a simple herbal remedy with someone for their ailment, but in the bigger picture, you're actually helping to increase the illumination of the planet, or helping to eradicate ignorance. So no act is too small. You should always keep that in mind, that we're all here to help bring about this evolution by sharing wisdom and teachings and healing and truth, and that we're here to do the same work that our ancestors did, but here on our own levels, our own homes, our own spaces. We are the Neteru, we are the gods and goddesses, and we are future ancestors. So that's why this tone is so important, because it helps bring illumination. Let's see. I'm going to just sing one or two verses from the song about the children of Ra. We are the children of Ra, children of creation. Ra is the source of life, and we are his children. Un Mesura, Mesu Tepara, Ra Akura, Mesura, Duara, Duara, Duara. Ra knew we would forget him, and this made him cry. We are all born from his tears of sadness. People all over the world were created by Ra's tears. When we remember Ra, he cries tears of gladness. We are children of Ra, children of creation. Ra is the source of life, and we are his children. On Mesura, Mesu Kepura, Ra Akura, Mesura. All right, now let's have a little bit of the solar seventh octave interval. I'm going to use these little tiny ones for really high, powerful, illuminating vibration. That we are going to allow our creativity to manifest art, music, systems, writing, teachings that will help manifest and create balance on the earth. Balance, truth, justice. Because remember, we have Ra in the sign of Ma'at. So we want to use our creative powers, our writing skills, all of our endeavors to help restore Ma'at to the earth, to help illuminate, help bring about illumination. It's not so much about being right, but about being correct, saying things in the correct way that bring about a positive vibration so that people are in a space to accept the truth. You know, a lot of people are really concerned about the election, and people are saying all kind of things about Bernie and Hillary should have won, and Bernie should have won, and we need to forget about this and that and come together with people. I read someone saying today that we need to give ISIS not ISIS the goddess, ISIS the military machine. We need to listen to them and see if we can work with them, see if our government can work with them. All kind of crazy things. And I just have to remind them, this is occupied territory. This government is not going to work until there's justice. People just have really crazy ideas. And so I'm really more determined than ever to use my creative gifts and skills to help remind people of what's really going on. People are, deluded, living in delusion. And delusion can cause sickness too. If someone's in total denial of something, it could build up and form a cancer, which is kind of what is happening to our planet. So when I do healings with the tuning forks, you work on yourself, and you do self-care, or your client. But then also, you bring in the whole planet needs healing, the whole universe. So you heal yourself, you heal your family, your neighborhood, your community, your organizations that you're members of, your nation, and the whole planet. That's how powerful sound healing is. It's not just what's going on in this moment. Like even people who watch the replay of these these presentations, they'll receive the benefits of the healing too, because energy doesn't have like a time, past, present, or future. We assign that to energy. Energy just is, and it just doesn't. It's that way. It can't be created, changed, or destroyed. It just keeps going. So the sound waves that I sent out with my intentions, they're just going to keep going. And that's why it's important that we get more sound healers on board so that more of us can be doing this work. So, it's my 2 cents. Okay, so it's already getting... So, I don't know if I have time to go through all of them right now, so I will just talk a little bit about them. I won't give the toning demonstration or the chanting unless I move. We can get through the program. So, Heru is associated with the planet Uranus. Heru is the revolutionary, the rebel, the son of Asara and Aset. Heru is in the battle with ego, with Set. Uranus is the planet that orbits the sun at a 90-degree angle to the rest of the planets. So it's like going in its own direction, on its own path. Oh, I wanted to, here we'll go to Set. And then Set is the nectar of egoism and selfishness, and is associated with the planet Mars, the tone for Mars. And at some point during the battle with Heru, here's an illustration of Heru and Set, one body with 2 heads, and that's like going on within us when we're fighting ourselves, and we're our intuition tells us one thing, but we do another, and then we end up, having a car accident or something. It represents this battle within us, with our ego and our higher self. And the goal is to let our higher self win and to get our ego under control. And so the illustration on the right represents an aspirant, or even Asar, because we represent Asar. And then on the left is Set, and on the right is Heru. And this is after the battle has ended, and Set agrees to let Heru take over the throne. And it represents when we have our ego under control. Like, we don't want to get rid of our ego, because our ego alerts us to when we're in danger, or when, we need to pay attention, or we need to fight. It's our first indication that, something's not right. And it will always try to keep us safe, or it doesn't want to make any changes, because it wants to remain in control. So it's important to be aware of these cosmic forces that live within us. The next Neteru is the goddess Heteru, the goddess of beauty. And of course, she's associated with the planet Venus, and she's the goddess of love and beauty and the divine feminine principle. So of course, we use this tone when we're dealing with women's issues, or when we want to bring about balance, because in the Greek system, Mars represents the masculine and Venus represents the feminine. But here at KemeTones, Venus represents the feminine, of course, but Mars also represents sex. And this is a very powerful combination, because if you're familiar with the story of Heru, she was sent to Earth by Ra to eliminate all the people that were doing wrong, that had become unrighteous. And she got so powerful that she started killing even innocent people, and was unstoppable. And that's when her Sekhmet energy took over. And Jehuti, intellectual reasoning, was sent to bring her back, remind her of her divine self. And so both of these tones, or both of these Neteru, represent the ability to get into a state where you may forget yourself, you may forget your divine origin, you may not be able to see the divine in others. However, you use your teachings, or you have the wherewithal to seek counsel from wise people around you to remind you of your divine origin and pull yourself back to your higher purpose. I'm going to sing another song right now. I didn't really plan on it, but I'm going to do it. It's a song that I wrote recently. I don't know it by heart yet. I have my little sheet. But it's a song about Set. There's not a lot of music devoted to Set unless it's people like who use these teachings for evil, like dark magic, and worship him, because the name Satan comes from Set. So, but at the Chants Netter, we recognize that Set is just a force within all of us, and it can be brought into enlightenment. If you look at different representations of the bark of Ra, after the battle, Set is at the front of the boat. He is the one that's protecting Ra. He's the one that is steering the boat. And that's what we want to do with our ego. This short chant, and then we'll probably have to move on to the retreat. You are Set, most powerful of the nectar. You are Set, conquered his ego in the battle with the root. You are Set, lives inside of me and you. You are Set, in each moment we must choose. I'm not to be sorry, Set, they come in. They wash you, they not flew inside you, Set. You are Set, most powerful of the nectar. You are Set, in each moment we must choose. And the translation of the Kemetic terms, Anmat Isai Set Se Kemen, means lack of righteousness leads to the fetters of Set. That means that when there's no righteousness around, then the lower vibrations or emotions like fear, doubt, anger, jealousy, greed, gluttony, etc., they'll come out. And the second line is Say Washu, Say Nafu, and Sayu Set means devotion to the divine leads to freedom from the fetters of Set. So you maintain your practice, your healthy diet, keep purifying your thoughts and your mind, you can defeat the powers of Set. Okay. Well, I'd like to go through the rest, but we're just going to have to go. The one I really wanted to get to is the Ophiuchus. That is the constellation between Scorpio and Sagittarius. And in the Greek tradition, he's known as Asclepius, or Hippocrates, and they say he's the father of Greek medicine. Ophiuchus is represented by a man holding a snake between his legs, and he's stepping on the scorpion. And all of this symbolism is from ancient Kemet. Here is the caduceus, which is the symbol of the medical profession. There's some various portrayals of the same imagery. In some circles, the snake represents our desire. It represents the Kundalini force. In Kemet, the symbol here, the caduceus, represents the spinal column, and the two snakes on either side represent the second, the life force energy. They also represent the dual goddesses of Aset and Nebuchadnezzar. Here's another illustration of Ophiuchus. Here's the scorpion. He's stepping on the back. That supposedly represents humanity waking up to alternative healing and different types of healing and stamping out the lower nature of the scorpion. And the snake represents like sexuality. Like we're struggling with our sexuality and our lower nature. And in this time, we are coming into the ability to rise above. Here's a chart of the constellation. It's not very clear because I blew up the photograph. But it's just this big, looks like a giant rectangle, like a kite. It looks like a kite in between Scorpio and Sagittarius. Sagittarius, to me, looks like a little teapot over here. Maybe tonight when you're stargazing, you'll find it. When you're looking at Ophiuchus towards Scorpio and Sagittarius, you're looking towards the middle of the Milky Way galaxy. This is the direction that we're facing the center of the galaxy. And then when you look at the constellations on the other end, which is Gemini and Orion and Sirius, you're looking out into one of the arms of the Milky Way galaxy. Here's another illustration of Ophiuchus. And then this is Imhotep. This is who the constellation of Ophiuchus, the life or the legends of Ophiuchus are taken from the legends of Imhotep, the actual father of medicine. We know that Hippocrates studied in Kemet. All the so-called Greek fathers of all the sciences that they stole from Kemet, they all studied with ancient Kemetic teachers. And here's an illustration of it's a carved step pyramid that was created by Imhotep. And then over here on the right, on the left of the screen, you can see some jewel snakes that are part of his, his iconography. Here's some more illustrations of the jewel snake representing the dual goddesses of Bastet and Nebuchadnezzar. On the left side, they're on either side of a cartouche, which I don't know the translation of. And then here on the right side, they're on either side of a Tsar. And a Tsar represents the initiate. That's you and me. So showing how the caduceus was again stolen from Kemet. And then the sound for this constellation is the sound for Chiron, the tuning forks of Chiron, the wounded healer. And that's from the Greek tradition. So at this time, I wanted to see if there's any comments or questions from anyone who's listening. That concludes my presentation on the Neteru, the divine tones and chants for healing. And this is some of the material that will be covered in the Level 1 certification coming up in January. Are there any comments or questions? The tones. You want to hear the tones for Chiron? Okay. I was kind of rushing through because I thought I was taking too long. But I will go back and play the tones for Chiron. I have a tendency to think I'm taking too long. Are the tones likened to Western notes? Well, okay, that's a good question. The planetary scale, which is the scale that Acutonics tuning forks are tuned to, they are tuned to the vibrations of and the motions of the planet. Kepler is one of the scientists that studied in Kemet. He is the one that is attributed with determining the orbit of the planets. And he did this just by his observations. He didn't have like high-power telescopes. And so he figured out the orbital frequencies of each planet based on their revolution. And then in the 1960s, another scientist and his name is escaping me right now. He took those same calculations and if you divide it by 2 until it gets into an audible frequency. When Kepler did the work, they were tones that we couldn't hear. He just knew the numerical numbers. And Kepler, the guy in 1960, he got it to where it was in frequencies that we could actually hear. But the original music scale was based on the planetary notes. It wasn't A, B, C, D, E. It was Mars, Jupiter, Venus, Neptune, Uranus. The music was written like that. So, so the music scale that we're familiar with was changed by the church. It used to be celestial, and then they made it like. And I have to be honest with you, I don't have the frequencies memorized, and I meant to have the chart ready for you today, but I didn't get it ready. I didn't get the slide ready. Find me, I'll post it later. But they altered it. Let's say it was 400, the natural tone of the moon. I'm just speculating. I don't know. I don't have it memorized. So the church would say, oh, well, we'll make it 355, so that it would be off from nature. So the music scale that we're used to is not natural. It's man-made, just like time. Just like I talked about the astrology system that the Westerners use is man-made. It's not based on the actual motion through the constellation. The music system that we're familiar with is man-made. So when I do tuning, I just go by what planet is it and what is the purpose. I don't ask, is it 432, is it 465, is it A, is it B sharp, is it F? That information is available to you, though, to us. I'm more into the astronomy. There's some people that are more into the numbers, and they have all that memorized. A lot of people are familiar with the solfeggio frequency scale, which is the one based on the natural growth pattern of life here on, I'm going to say Earth, but probably everywhere, but I don't want to assume that. Like the way that a seashell grows, or there's lots of correlations with the solfeggio frequencies. And I don't work with those yet. I'm thinking about it. But I'm really drawn to the planetary frequencies and their connection to the Neteru and the Orisha. But that information is available to you, and it's in the Acutonics and KemeTones manual. So I've made a note to myself before, and I haven't done it because it's not on my priority list. But I'm going to write it down again to get the frequency chart onto the study group page. I know I posted the solfeggio frequency chart, but I did not post the Acutonics chart. So anyway, let's do Chiron, and then we'll move on. Chiron represents the wounded healer. I didn't go into his. A is 440. Okay. Yes, and they are planetary, and you can, get the correlation. I will post the chart. I have it. I just didn't make the slide. Like I say, anything that's man-made or is from the West, I don't mess with it anymore. It's good to know about it, but it's an illusion. It wasn't designed to actually help us. It was designed to control us. So the Acutonic school, they did make a set of tuning forks for the solfeggio frequencies because so many people ask for them, but it's not really what this process is about. There's also a set of tuning forks that's tuned to the chakras, There's one that's tuned to the a set that's tuned to the meridians. There's a set of tuning forks for each organ. But these systems were not designed by acupuncturists who were astrologers who wanted to find a deeper way of healing their patients without causing them pain. They got tired of people not liking the needle, and they were astrologers. So this is like a different system. The woman who invented the tuning forks for each organ, I got to speak to her. I think she died. I got to speak to her before she died. And she did not know about putting tuning forks directly on the body. She only knew about the high-frequency forks. The acutonics, they're the ones that developed the weighted forks. So you actually put them right on the body, and the vibrations go in the body and alter the molecular structure of the water and of your DNA and all kind of things like that. So she wasn't even aware of the real healing power of the system she had designed. And
wow.
She was shocked when I told her. She was just saying how those people that came up with those forks stole her idea, and I couldn't understand why they weren't working together, because they all seem to be really valuable, sets of tuning forks, but none of them had thought to put them on the body until the acutonic people put them on the body, and now lots of people have those sets. Another. All right. Yes. Planetary report. So, just briefly, I don't want to take up all your time, but the Chiron, the wounded healer, he was a student of Ophiuchus in the Greek myth, and he was a great healer, and I think someone was jealous of his healing abilities and man-made, I don't know if it was a snake or a scorpion. I think it was a scorpion, because all these myths are like different versions of the Kemetic myth. No matter how much they say they're not, they are. And so he was bit by this man-made scorpion, and there was no natural cure for the venom, for the poison. There was nothing that he could do, and so instead of watching him die, the head god or whatever made him into a comet or asteroid, and so he would not die. But he represents the wounded healer, and that is, we have to heal ourselves before we can heal others. And there's a time in our lives called the Chiron return, which is at the age of 50, between 50 and 52. And that's a time in our lives where anything that happened to us while we were young or children or young adults, if we weren't able to process and heal from it, it'll come up again in our lives when we hit 50. And then we have the opportunity to either heal from it or leave the planet. And my most saddest, favorite example of this is Michael Jackson. We don't really know the extent of the abuse or trauma that he experienced as a youngster, but when he hit 50, his Chiron return, he checked out. Whitney Houston, I think she died at 48 or 49, which is basically her Chiron return. My acutonics teacher, my first acutonics practitioner, when she turned 50, she died, and her Pluto and Sun were doing some weird configuration, not weird, some auspicious configuration. And right before she died, because I was like, with all your wisdom and knowledge and tuning forks, how did this happen? She got a rare cancer that only mostly afflicts Chinese and Chinese Americans due to a very toxic preservative in snacks. And she used to have them all the time at her grandmother's house. And it's a cancer of the throat that they get, and the nose. And I was like, but why? And it turns out she had witnessed all four of her sisters being raped by her dad, and nobody ever talked about it. Nobody talked about it. They all just grew up and left home at 16, ran away. And the mom knew, everybody knew. And when she got cancer and was dying, that was the first time everybody, well, her sisters, they all talked about it. But by then it was too late. So that's the severity of the Chiron return. So right now I'm just sending out energy to all of us healers, all of us on the path of the healer, people that have, usually it's people that have experienced trauma or abuse. When we go through our own healing journey, that's when the healer in us is awakened. And that's certainly what happened with me. When I turned 50, that's when I began my healing journey as well. It just kind of manifested, you know, and I thought when I was 52, I thought, okay, I got through it without too much happening, and then bam, right before I turned 52, some more stuff erupted. So it's just a really powerful time. So this is going out to all the wonderful healers and all the wonderful people that are signing up for this KemeTones certification, because we need more people in our nation, our community, who are knowledgeable in these tools and techniques, because I can't do it all myself. I've been working on developing protocols for healing from post-traumatic slave syndrome, opening our money flow, opening up our flow to abundance, you know, by removing blocks in our root chakra. Actually, all of these have to do with our root chakra. And then also another healing system for dealing with, healing from rape and assault and abuse and violence. So these are things that our community needs, and we need more healers who are trained that can do this work. Okay. So thank you for your question about the tones. I would like to get my piano, my keyboard, tuned to these frequencies, because then I will be playing like real music, and the vibrations would be really healing for the people, for the planet, if I got my keyboard toned. So I don't know how much time you all have to spend with me, but right now I'd like to go through a little bit about the upcoming retreat that's scheduled for January 8th through 16th in Port Antonio, Portland, Jamaica. And this is a photograph taken when I was there in August. We went to the Blue Lagoon, and this is the trail that we took to get to the Blue Lagoon. So this retreat is going to be taking place during the waxing moon. It's going to culminate at the full moon. So we're going to have a great opportunity to get to know both Shasheta and Jehuti during this time, because those are the Neteru associated with the moon. And Shasheta is associated with the sciences, astronomy, astrology, learning, writing, teachings. And so this is going to be really powerful. And then here's the illustration of Jehuti and Shasheta together. Jehuti is writing, and Shasheta has got his back. And also associated with the full moon from the Orisha tradition from the Yoruba is the cosmic force known as Obatala. So we're going to be learning some of his chants as well. I know more about Yemaya than any of the other Orisha, so I'm looking forward to connecting with Obatala during our time together. Okay, so during the week, you will receive your Level 1 certification in KemeTones Cosmic Sound Healing. You will complete your first Acutonics class, Sound Gates to Meridian Harmonics, Level 1. You will have opportunity to have a Kemetic yoga class every morning at sunrise, well, 6 a.m. You will receive a brief introduction to the Chatau Netter practices. We will have a special observance on the full moon, January 12th, and then Friday the 13th, which some people say is bad luck, but for me, it's a wonderful energy. And then, so that will be Monday through Friday. Then Friday, we will head to Negril for the Rebel Salute Festival, and we'll have a KemeTones Cosmic Sound Healing booth there. And in our booth, we'll be doing sound healing. And if you have any wellness items or jewelry or anything that you make, you can bring and sell it there in the booth. You won't have to pay a booth fee. And it's possible that my band, Kasha Roots Band, will be performing. I have in my application. We'll see. So during this week, you will awaken to the cosmic forces within. You will be awakened to divine intelligence. You'll have the opportunity to awaken to abundance and prosperity. And most importantly, you will awaken to the healer within you. I decided to have this training as 5 days instead of the normal 3. Normally when you take the Acutonics Level 1 class, it's only 3 days long. And I tried teaching this version in 3 days, and it just isn't enough time. Just felt rushed, and we didn't have enough time for one-on-one sessions. With this 5 days, this gives us, hopefully gives us more time to have one-on-one healing, and also to have time to introduce the Kemetic teachings or the Kemetic aspects of sound healing. So that's why I've chosen to make it 5 days instead of 3, and also to whisk you away to a beautiful place far removed from the hustle and bustle of your daily life. I used to like fly into the city, put on the workshop for 3 days, and go. Or then I even had people come to my home out in the country and have it at my home. But either way, when it was in someone else's town or if it was in my home, you still have your day-to-day chores to deal with, and it was distracting. People had to leave early because they had to go to work. One person missed half a day because he had to teach a class, and people had to leave early because they had to pick people up, you know, and it was distracting. So that is why we go to Jamaica. Let's see. So I don't know how much we're going to get through today, but these are all the things I would like to talk to you about tonight. If I have to, I'll just schedule another session, or you could watch the replay of previous KemeTones certification webinar previews. So we'll see what we can get through tonight. Like I said, why did I choose Portland? Well, just to get away from your normal routine. Portland is a beautiful parish on the northeastern side of Jamaica. It's one of the more natural areas known for its beautiful beaches. It's also one of the last places in Jamaica that has free public beaches for the natives, for the locals, for the people of Jamaica. I was told that all the other beaches in Jamaica are now private and that Portland only has 3 public beaches left. And, of course, we spend our time at public beaches. Portland encapsulates the history of Jamaica, and yet many visitors never get to see this part of the island. There are 2 maroon towns located in Portland. The Maroons are the sovereign, free, black, native people of Jamaica. There's lots of theories or speculations or versions of history about the area. There's a version that there were the Arawak Indians there originally, and then with slavery, all these Africans were brought here, and then the Africans that escaped slavery or freed themselves, combined with the natives and kind of like wiped out the Arawak population. They were either killed by the soldiers or they merged and united with the blacks. And so, you know, when I ask people about where are the Arawaks, they say they just blended in with the Maroons. But then I watched a presentation on the true history of Jamaica, and just like we say about life up here in North America, there was black people already there. That whole thing about the Arawaks being quote-unquote Native Americans or Indians is something that the colonizers made up. And that the true history has always been the Native people were black. They're the Maroons. It's not that they mixed with the Native people or that the Arawaks were wiped out. It's that it was just black people. And, you know, black people come in many shades, many different hair textures, you know, different ways of looking at it. But anyway, in Portland, there are 2 Maroon towns that are free, sovereign Maroons. They're not Jamaican. They're sovereign. And that is why I'm drawn to Portland, because I'm all about freedom and sovereignty. And they're all about, you know, reclaiming their independence by not having to come into town and not having to go to the doctors. They have their own schools. And they're really embracing Kemet right now. The people that I've met in Portland and Port Antonio, they're really open to Kemet. And that's why I have chosen Portland as my next residence, where I'm going to build a Kemetic wellness center and Kemetic retreat center. Because I'm not going to just be serving the tourists. I want to tour them. I want to serve the locals. So, of course, we're going to visit some beautiful swimming holes, like at the Blue Lagoon. Even though the Blue Lagoon has become touristy, there's a small, tiny swimming area that is not, and that's where I like to go. And we're going to visit the beautiful Rio Grande River. We're going to visit some beautiful beaches. And hopefully we're going to have a chance to spend some time in the Maroon town, in Moortown, because we want to go to Nanny Falls. We didn't get to go last time, but on this next visit, we're planning to go to Nanny Falls and do some sound healing for the community out there. That's where my passion is. And here's a illustration of Nanny. She is a revolutionary that, well, she's the reason why we still have Maroon Town and why we have Moortown. She was a warrior, and she took care of her community. And she's not just a myth. They can show you where she was shot. They can show you where she was deceived. They can show you where she was buried. They can show you where she lived. And it's the truth. It's the truth, and it's the spirit of the island. And it's a spirit that I hope that people can maintain and never lose that vibration. Because the whole planet needs it. It's the spirit of reggae. Reggae isn't just about Bob Marley and Rastafari and ganja, and it's not even just about eating ital or wearing gold and green. It's about freedom and independence. It's about not needing to be a part of the system. Sure, you can be a part of the system if you want to, but it's about being self-sufficient and self-sustainable and not needing to be a part of the system. And so that's why KemeTones is going to have a home base in Portland. So here's a picture of the Blue Lagoon. These are beautiful rafts. We can get a ride on the raft. This is a view from Winifred Beach. It's not a view of the beach. It's a view of this horrendous castle that they have built there for celebrities. When they come to Jamaica, they come here because it's more quiet. They don't want to go to the tourism But we're going to be spending time on Winifred Beach, which is one of the last few public beaches. And it's just another beautiful vista. We're going to be retreating into the pristine, sacred centers of nature on the planet. And then here's a view of the first KemeTones presence at Rebel Salute Festival. There was a sister there that let us set up outside of her tent. We weren't able to get a tent. It was kind of short notice. But this shows two of the students from the first Jamaican KemeTones class working on patients at the festival. And we were a big hit. We even made Jamaican TV news. I didn't get to see the clip, but when they were featuring the highlights of the festival, they had an interview of myself and of a Rasta elder that I worked on. I'm still trying to get that video clip, by the way. But we're going to have a lovely 2 days at this festival, hearing some great reggae music. This festival is unique. It's no alcohol. All healthy lifestyle food, mostly vegan, lots of raw food, and beautiful vendors with beautiful items. And they also have a cannabis corner where you can sample all types of different herbs and remedies and information, you know, because now marijuana is legal in Jamaica now. So it's a totally different vibration. It's all about healing. It's all about healing and spirituality. It's not like it here in the West about recreational. It's all for the healing of the nation. And if you don't know much about me, I was born in Chicago. I studied physics and astronomy in college and grad school, University of Texas in Austin. I'm a mom. I homeschool both of my daughters. Reggae, world music, and now New Age with my Kemetic devotional music. Performing and recording artist, organic gardener, Kemetic priestess, cosmic sound healer, and wellness coach. And the techniques that I share with you in all of my classes are all techniques that I've used on myself. I have been on a healing journey for about 6 years now, and that's around the time that I started practicing the acutonics. And so that's why I'm really passionate about this process, is because I've seen so many changes in my own life and in my clients. And, you know, you could just go and get an acutonic certification, but I think it's important as Black, African, and Indigenous people to be trained in a system that is related to us and is designed for our healing and for the upliftment of our people. I'm really drawn to Sirius, the star Sirius, and I can't talk enough about her. The star Sirius is connected to the goddess Aset or Isis, and also Yemaya. And we will talk a little bit about her. The toning forks for the goddesses are not in the level 1 certification, but I'm sure I'll bring them out when I'm doing healing on the students. So we'll learn a little bit about the astrology, the toning, just like this presentation, the toning, the iconography, the myths, and the legends. The timing of the class, January 8th through 16th, December 31st, January 1st is what we know as the New Year here in the West. And also, the origin of that holiday is December 31st is the night that Sirius culminates in the night sky. And so in Kemet, this was also a time of great celebration. And so, you know, we'll be like a week behind New Year's, but we'll still be in the energy, the window of the energy. So we will learn a little bit about that. We'll learn about the moon cycles, how to use those in your life, and the healing tones, the new moon and the full moon. And like the devotional chants and practices that we went over today, we'll go over a few more of those since we'll be honoring the moon during this time. And the Acutonic certification program, make sure I'm still signed in there. Yeah, okay. Sometimes I get thrown off the call and I'll still be talking and you all are, I'm not even on the call anymore. So every now and then I have to check in. So this is the Level 1 Acutonic class. The Acutonic certification program is designed to address the diverse training needs of allied health professionals by providing a practical understanding of sound healing, oriental medicine, and harmonic living. This is a non-invasive and gentle modality with a scientific and spiritual foundation that is having profound results. Of course, at KemeTones, we know that the origin of Chinese medicine, acupuncture, the I Ching, Confucius, all of these healing wisdom modalities, the teachings of Lao Tzu, these are all African in origin. It's a well-known fact that the original residents of Asia and India, Japan, China, the Philippines, the Polynesian, all that area, Hawaii, those are black people. And when you go to the indigenous people of those areas, they know. It's just the more modern contemporary Asians that are in denial of this fact. And it's probably the source of racism or hatred towards black people. Of course, I'm digressing. Anyway, I just want you to know that this certification program, even though it says it's Chinese medicine or acupuncture, even that is African in origin. And I will take a minute to say that when I first became certified in Acutonics, I knew that I had to develop the Kemetic program, and it took 2 years for the founders to, quote-unquote, give me their blessings or authorize me to develop this program called KemeTones. And I kind of was shut down for 2 years because when I first mentioned it to them, they said to me, well, if anyone's going to develop Egyptian acutonics, it's going to be Donna because she's an Egyptian priestess. And I've been trying to tell them for years that the origin of Egyptian culture is black. It's Kemetic. They don't know the name Kemet. They, to them, Egypt isn't even in Africa. So we were having, it was really difficult getting the program to this point. And right now I'm still working with them to make sure that when you study with me with KemeTones Level 1, Level 2, 3, 4, and 5, that you will receive certification in the Acutonics program in case you want to go on and become fully certified in Acutonics. Because when you take Level 1 Acutonics, you're not certified. You can say you're an Acutonics practitioner, but you're not certified. In fact, they don't even want people to start practicing with Level 1 anymore. When I took Level 1, I was told I could start practicing right away, and now they're changing that, But with KemeTones Level 1, you will be certified to start practicing as a KemeTones practitioner, but not a certified Acutonics practitioner. You have to be very careful in all of your marketing or promotions because they do watch. They ask me to not even mention Acutonics anymore. I can only mention the tuning forks in my marketing and promotion. They want it to be completely separate. But at the moment, your Level 1 training with KemeTones will qualify as Level 1 with Acutonics. And I want to make sure that that continues. And so that is why when you take the Level 1 certification, we spend a lot of time talking about things that we would rather not discuss, like the history of Greek astronomy and astrology and the first Greek sound healers and different things like that. in order to certify as Acutonics Level 1, we have to cover that content. So, and that's why we have 5 days, because I'm not gonna cut out the kinetic teaching, you know. So we give ourselves extra time. And then also, the next slide is about if you are an acupuncturist or a massage practitioner or bodywork practitioner, your credit with KemeTones Level 1, Acutonics Level 1 will count towards your studies with the NCAOM or the NCBTMB, the massage training. The students that take these classes include chiropractors, naturopaths, psychotherapists, veterinarians, musicians, music therapists, nurses, doctors, and energy healers. And when I first started taking these trainings, I was none of that. I was a musician and an astrologer. And I didn't know anything about meridians. I knew about chakras, but a lot of this, you know, the needles, things that they take years to study, you get in 3 days and you're certified, or 5 days now. So it's very powerful, and it's intense. It's a lot of information in those 5 days. Let's see, it says here, this unique curriculum has been designed to expand the practitioner's knowledge and competency in a comprehensive methodology that is rooted in Oriental medicine and music theory while taking previous training into consideration. Whether you take just a few classes or follow the path to full Acutonic certification, you will gain valuable skills that you can immediately integrate into your life and your work. And that just shows you, this illustration shows you all the tuning forks that you will collect by the time you have finished with 5 levels of Acutonics training, Acutonics and KemeTones levels 1 through 5. So far, I've only taught KemeTones level 1, and when there's enough students interested in level 2, I will have level 2. But right now, we're just focused on level 1. This, I don't want to spend too much time. If you want to find out a more detailed description of the level 1 class, you can go to the Jamaica KemeTones info kit page, you know, or you could go through the slideshow of this program. I'm not going to read through every slide because we are short on time. Let's see, I'll read this part. Participants explore the philosophy, cosmology, and scientific and mystical roots of Acutonics. This workshop focuses on the cross-cultural uses of sound, concepts of the human body as a sound resonator, energy meridians, and points as pathways for sound, concepts of the world harmonies, cellular memory, sound imprinting, and reformatting. It offers fresh new insights into 3 meridian energy networks. And then, like I said, at KemeTones, we take the Acutonics level 1 training one step deeper, and we bring into Kemetic devotional practices and also spiritual practices to increase and enhance your spiritual development, increase your knowledge of self, and all leading towards your enlightenment. And then once you're certified and you're taking yourself through these practices on a regular basis, then you're empowered to help other people in your community go through the same journey. So I keep saying it's really powerful, it's amazing. But when I just reflect on how much I've changed since I started on this journey, and I'm just so excited to see all of you on the same journey, getting the same astronomical results and benefits, and being able to take this practice to your family and just people in your community, and then also to have it bring in, generate revenue for you. It's just win-win all the way around. So we'll have an introduction to Chatau Netter, spiritual practices, the steady disciplines, like I mentioned before, devotion, listen to the teachings, meditation, and right action. So just by developing your KemeTones practice, you are fulfilling the core requirements of Kemetic spiritual practice. Just by being a KemeTones practitioner, you can reach enlightenment. That's how profound this is. And then to be able to share that with others in the universe. So you're raising the vibration of your own light frequency, and then you become a light to others. Let's see, I've already pretty much mentioned this. One more thing I'll say about Kemet. The name Kemet means the land of the black. Not only referring to our black skin, not even just to the rich and fertile black soil along the Nile, but referring to the sacred darkness, the mother of pure light, the blackness that exists between the stars, the blackness from which all life originates, and to where all life will return, the sacred mother of pure light. So that is a little bit about what the name Kemet means. KemeTones means tones of Kemet, and my daughter, my younger daughter, she says KemeTones also is Kemet ones, with the ones from Kemet. So about the level 1 certification, we'll cover wisdom of our ancestors. We'll go through the Neteru, like we did at the beginning of this presentation. A little bit about the Orisha, the African origins of traditional Chinese medicine. There'll be a brief introduction to Horoscopes, the 13-month Kemetic sidereal astrology system. We are building a protocol for healing intergenerational trauma, such as the Trail of Tears, post-traumatic slave symptoms, post-slavery stress disorder. And we started working on that last year, and this year we're just going to keep building on it. I did a webinar series on the 10 Sankofa steps outlined by Dr. Joy DeGruy, her work, Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome. And then again, the intro to the Shaitan Nectar Shetty practice. So when you leave, you'll have a foundation for your own Shetty practice. If you don't already have one, when you leave, you know, we will have gone into it a little bit. We'll also explore sound geomancy, music made by nature, the songs of flowers, butterfly wings, wind, trees, the stones in South Africa. There's a whole science based on this, from stones that are magnetic and they make sounds. So we're going to do a little bit more than just the tuning fork. But all this depends on the time that permits. You know, things come up, delays, interruptions, distractions. But we'll have a plan on what we want to cover, outline. And I already talked about this about 5 days instead of 3 days. Oh, the hands-on training. Be prepared for healing, not just demonstration, not just being the person laying on the table so that the other student can practice, but you're going to receive healing. And you're going to receive healing for 5 days, maybe 3. Last time we only got, I think, 3 days. But the goal is 5 days. And things will come up, issues will come up, memories will come up. If there's any health or healing issues that you have not tended to, they will come up. So be prepared. It's not just a class. It's a healing session. Last one, one of our students, she got really emotional. She got physically ill. There was a lot of stuff that had to come out for her to be healed, and she was resisting. And the only time that, in a healing journey, the only time that you're going to feel pain from a KemeTones session is if you're not ready to let go. You're still holding on. So just be prepared. It's not just a class. It's a healing session. Okay, so like I said, you'll be certified in Level 1 KemeTones. To become fully certified as an acutonics practitioner, there are at least 9 more levels of classes and I think 5 electives. I have not finished all 9 levels. They trained me early to teach because people in Brazil wanted to teach. People in Brazil wanted to take the class. But then they realized I don't speak Portuguese, so I didn't end up teaching. But for some reason, I had the opportunity to be trained as an instructor so that I could develop this KemeTones training. Because for the KemeTones, you can get a lot done with levels 1 and 2. And so everything is in defined right order. And I am, in 2017, I will continue my upper level training. I got sidetracked, I'll be honest with you, when my mother died. Different things became a priority, and but now I'm ready to get back on track with my upper level training. It's almost like getting a PhD. You write a thesis, you have a presentation before your committee. It's really intense. Let's see. So you'll be getting the Acutonics Level 1 Handbook, the KemeTones Level 1 Handbook, the Horoscope Handbook, and Resource Guide. This will include all the meridian charts, astrological, historical, as well as crucial cultural information that you will need to enhance your practice. Take your clients to new levels of health, wellness, and self-knowledge. I use the chanting in my treatments. I use the chanting in my treatments, use the chanting in my classes. I use the chanting in my prayers. I use the chanting in my energy work. When I discover a block, an energy block in someone, and we're just doing like an astrology reading or an energy wealth analysis, I use these chants to eliminate blocks in all different ways. You can use the chanting to clear the space in a room. And so you're going to learn the chants associated with the Neteru and the tuning forks. And then, of course, you will observe that when you're giving someone else a healing session, even though you're not putting the forks on you, you also receive a healing treatment. Without fail, you will feel differently at the end of your session. And, of course, as an added gift, upon completion, you can receive a CD by Tachia Ahmet. And that's a CD of your choice. And if you did not receive your CD, be sure to ask for it. I probably just forgot, but I need you to ask me for it if you didn't get one already. Oh, my goodness. Let's see. So in addition to the meditations, the guided meditations that are recorded, you can listen to them. I'm willing to do money flow work with you to help open up your money flow. The CDs as an added benefit. I will offer 30 days of support within 30 days from the time you complete the certification to help you develop your website, your online presence, your promotions. If you're ready to start, incorporating your sound healing work with what you're already doing. Let's say you're a masseuse and you want to add sound healing to your website. I'm willing to help you for 30 days, from the time we leave Jamaica. Let's see, I'm developing a Kemetic Wellness Toolkit to serve as a primarily online resource center for people looking for Kemetic healers and wellness practitioners. Once you're certified, I didn't get the website up and running yet, but it's in the works, and it'll be a membership, so you can advertise your practice there, and people can, I'll be promoting that, so people will be able to find you, and it'll just be like an online resource. So once you're certified, you will be eligible for a discounted lifetime membership. So just ask me for more information, or if you want to help put it together. I have the domain purchased, but I have not launched it. There's only so much I could launch at once. But the website will be called Kemet.world. I got frustrated because when you look up Kemet, just Kemet, you get a corporation in Russia and Greece. There's computer hardware systems and software programs. And when you type up Kemet, you don't get Kemet. So Kemet.com was already bought by these other people, so I purchased Kemet.world. And someday we will have this wonderful resource for all these Kemetic healers and wellness practitioners. And that includes yoga teachers, Kemetic yoga teachers, Kemetic yoga studios, anything having to do with Kemet and wellness. The Per Ankh Healing Hotel in Kemet, just Kemetic essential oils, Kemetic crystals, jewelry, all of that will be in one place. Right now we have the KemeTones Rec Ab online Facebook study group. And the idea for that is for people to share treatments and results and learn how to work together as a community of cosmic sound healers. At the moment, so far, I'm the only one that's posting. I post the classes that I'm teaching and different findings. I want to be more consistent. I want to develop more communication between the people on that group, and that is that's one of my intentions that is not happening right now. But the group is there, so you can always join the group, even if you haven't been certified. And then, like I mentioned earlier, the plan is to develop a Kemetic Wellness Center in Portland, Jamaica. And as a certified KemeTones practitioner, you'll be invited to come and spend time there, serving the indigenous and local community and visiting clients, and you will be a guest healer. You'll be able to give lectures and presentations on your specialty, spend time at the Egyptian-style spa or the retreat center, and have time to visit the, explore Jamaica. So it'll be the kind of thing where you can come in. We've already advertised you're going to be giving a workshop on the throat chakra, and you'll give a lecture. People will sign up to get treatments from you, and you'll sign up to spend a few hours in the spa in exchange for staying there. That's what I'm seeing, and I really see myself doing this in many different places, and we're just going to be touring around the world. So the one in Jamaica will be the first one. My daughter wants to start one in Chicago, and we're just going to keep going. So that's the vision. So by becoming certified, you become part of this network. Here's a few Kemetic proverbs. The cosmos is like a book. Anyone who learns the language can read the knowledge and history of humanity. The stars and skies do make music in you. And there are two roads, the path of ignorance and the path of wisdom. So by learning more about these tones, which according to our ancestors are the sounds of the planets and the stars along the ecliptic, we have these tones right here in our hands. We can tune in with them at any time. We don't need batteries. We don't need prescriptions. We don't need anything. They're right here. We don't need electricity. There's nothing that can hurt you unless you're unwilling to let go. The stars and skies make music in us. These sounds are in us because these are the sounds of our ancestors. And so by tuning into these tones, we're aligning with our ancestors. We're aligning with the Neteru. We're aligning with these cosmic forces that are already in us. So I had one musician tell me that he could play music better when he was getting treatment. He could just hear the music better. And then, of course, the two roads. By knowing more about the tones, knowing more about healing, knowing more about the ancestors, we know more about ourselves. This is a path to self-knowledge. It's a path to wisdom. And it's not a path where you're just reading and reflecting or meditating or going to classes and listening to people talk about what they think about it, or getting into arguments about what one person says or what another person says. No, you're taking these tuning forks out into the community and healing. And the more you heal people, the more you learn and the more you know. And the more you heal and the more you grow. And it just doesn't end. It just keeps going. All right, so here's an example of our daily schedule. We're going to start with the Tef Neteru, the yoga posture system of Shatau Neter. And we will have a cosmic meditation at 7:30. The posture system is based on the work of Seba Ma, Dr. Muad Ashby, Seba Ja, Dr. Karen Ashby. It's the yoga posture system based on hieroglyphs and writings on papyri from Kemet. All the postures that people think came from India, we have proof that it started in Kemet. So this is a yoga posture system that's called the movement of the gods and goddesses. And during the posture movement, we're recreating the moments of creation. We're recreating the connectivity with the ancestors. And you're connecting with them in each posture. When you're in the posture of Asar, you say, I am Asar. When you're in the posture of Aset, I am Aset. In the posture of Heru, I am Heru. It's not just, oh, let me do this posture, hold it for so long, and exhale and move on. No, it's about being that vibration. And so by the end of the cycle, you have raised your vibration. So we start with the raised vibration. Then we're going to have breakfast at 8. We're going to talk about the meals next. I'm glad you all are still here, but we're going to talk about it next. We have raw vegan breakfast in the morning, smoothies, juice, the blessings, the fruits of Jamaica. Just go outside and pick a coconut and break it open and have a drink. The lectures will begin at 9 a.m. from 9 until noon, and then we'll have an hour and a half lunch break. That will give you time to reflect on your journals or walk to the beach. We're just a short walk from the beach at this new retreat center. Then we'll come back at 1:30 for more lecturing and or hands-on training. Then at 4 o'clock we'll have a short break. 5 o'clock we'll have another lecture from 5 to 7. At 7 we'll have dinner, and then it will end the evening with meditation. Now that is the ideal schedule. Like I said, we'll be in Jamaica. We're going to have to go with the flow. But that is the schedule. As you can see, it's an all-day. It's not just 9 to 5. I'm going to my hear an echo, and I'm getting distracted. Okay, so this is an illustration or a photograph showing Asar Neter Ankh Aku, who is the individual, the light being that goes around the world certifying people in the Tef Neteru Smai Tawi Kemetic Yoga Posture System. In fact, he is in Portland right now with the Awaken the Maroon certification training right now. And so he will be with us in Jamaica to lead the yoga class in the morning. Now this is not a yoga certification class. This is just, like if you go take a weekly class. But we'll be having it every morning, and it may inspire you to become certified. One of the students from the class last year became the first human in modern times to be certified in Tefnetudu Kemetic Yoga Posture System, Raseki, Kemetic Reiki, and KemeTones. Basu Rhonda Cooper is the first and currently the only official Kemetic wellness practitioner. And I am right behind her because I just need to be certified in Tefnetudu, and then I will be the second Kemetic wellness practitioner. I did receive the Raseki, and I practice the Tefnetudu system every day, but I've not been certified. And you'll see how all three of these practices, you know, when you use them together, there's nothing you can't do. You're unstoppable. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to more people being certified in this way. And then Ross Linei here, pictured at what is called Bikini Beach. He is going to be our chef for this retreat. And we'll be having the meals 3 times a day. I think the next slide is about the food. But he will be preparing raw and vegan and some cooked meals. We'll be having like cooked meals for dinner. And he's also the person that will be picking you up from the airport and taking you back. And we're also going to have time for a healing with Ross Clifton. That happened spontaneously at the last class. He's a Rasta medicine man that I suppose it's different for everyone, so I can't say exactly what he does, and it'll be the same thing he did for you. But for me, he gave me a spiritual bath, spiritual cleansing, and I wasn't comfortable with him giving the bath. I had another sister give me the spiritual bath, so that's up to you. But he put together the herbs, and he gave me some counseling, and the words of wisdom that he shared with me came to pass. So I've asked him to be a part of every KemeTones retreat because it was really powerful for me personally. Let's see, we've got the meditations. Netter Ankh has a special meditation technique he's going to share with us, where we'll be going beyond the conscious mind to reaffirm our divine nature and to reprogram debilitating beliefs and limitations that we have inherited or imposed on ourselves. And you'll find that when you're practicing KemeTones that you may go into a meditation or a trance. You know, that's why when you first start, it's important to always have the Om fork in one of your hands so you stay grounded, because you're, like I say, you're receiving a healing too. And the sound healing, the meditation, the diet, the location, the yoga, the chanting, all of these things are designed to help us eliminate debilitating beliefs and limitations that we have, you know, in our lives. So it's not just a certification training, it's like a life-changing process. And it's not a retreat because you don't just go there to relax. It's a certification and retreat. When I got home from it, I needed a retreat. Let's see. Hekau are words of power that are essential to Kemetic practice. It's said that constant repetition of these key words will lead the mind to stillness, balance in the chakras, and bring about internal peace. Yes, it brings about internal peace because it eliminates blocks, it eliminates toxic energies, and opens the way or creates a space for positive love, peace, and abundance to fill that space. Because when you have the toxins there, there's no room for the blessings. And it is possible that we're going to have a performance by myself, Linei, and Boss Zachary with the Kasha Roots Band at the Rebel Salute Festival. We, I've submitted our music, and they said they will let us know. So I'm just putting it out there that we do have this slot, because I think that would be really fun, because our music is also healing. And the Rebel Salute Festival is not like most other reggae festivals that you've been to. It's all about consciousness and healing, and about saluting the rebels. It salutes the elders that have been holding it down for years in this, in the music industry and reggae community. So it really is a rebel salute. Okay, now the food. Daily greens, smoothies, and or juices. The greens of the earth represent the Asarian principle and the awakening of Hetep, supreme peace. So most of the foods will be live. It says all meals on the trip will be melanin and DNA activating. Some cooked, some alive, but all of it delicious. This is the food your body craves, your body temple craves, once it breaks away from the junk food culture. And this looks like some yummy ackee salad. I have become addicted to ackee, and I love it how they put it in everything. You can get ackee pizza, ackee cookies, ackee smoothies, ackee soup, just ackee everywhere. Raw, lively foods and herbs will be served daily to clean and build your mind, body, and soul, and to release toxins and any negative energetic traces. All the foods prepared are full of vitamins, minerals, and other nutrients. We will be focusing on certain elements and nutrients and their electrolytes for the Black, African, and melanated body. That looks like breadfruits. Oh, that is so yummy. After I had breadfruit, I really just don't have the same feeling about bread. I'll eat it every now and then, but I rarely buy it. And I'm just waiting until I go back to Jamaica and have some more roasted or steamed breadfruit. Let me see if they need to unmute. The unmute. Anyone has any comments? Cannot hear me. A lot of background noise. Okay. I hope it's better now. I had turned off the, I had muted you, so I don't have any background noise. Maybe it was my dogs outside. It got kind of loud outside. Nice. Okay, we'll just keep trying. We're almost to the... Oh, there's the echo again. Okay. Romaine lettuce tossed salad served with pureed ripe plantains. Atop the plantains is a red cabbage salad and chopped callaloo, garnished with alfalfa sprouts and live corn. Now, one thing I learned on this last trip is plantains. You can have them ripe or green. And I, all the time I'm here, when I come back here to America, I try to make my plantains, and they never turn out the way they do when I'm in Jamaica or when a Jamaican fixes them. And that's when I learned that when they're green, when you saute them, that's when they're more like chips or crunchy. And when they're ripe or soft and mushy, that's when they come out sweet like cake or yam. So that was one thing I learned. And callaloo is a green. It's a local green. Like here I have chard or kale. And down there is callaloo. And it's really good. And let's see, here's another dish. Sweet, ripe plantains surrounded by a kale salad. And on top of the plantains is a mixture of tomatoes, onions, and raw bok choy, finely chopped. Taste of heaven. Definitely a taste of heaven. Hopefully we'll have time to visit the market in town on the big market day is Fridays, of course. going into town and getting produce, from the market, and being able to get crafts or items from the vendors is just an experience in itself. Oh, and here's some stew with coconut milk. Yep, just a few more months and have some really yummy food again. This is the last picture of the food. Raw pie made with almond cashew dates. And those are my dogs barking. I don't know if that's the feedback. Fresh Ceylon cinnamon crust layered with banana, strawberry, raspberry, dried blueberries. I see blackberries. Raw pistachios. Sprinkles of organic dried coconut sap, sugar, crystals, and fresh cinnamon with raw agave. Now, that sounds incredible, and it tastes incredible. Everything there is so fresh, and just prepared with just the right vibrations, all for our healing and enlightenment. I know there was one night the ladies wanted to sneak off to the grocery store and get some junk food because our dinner was late. But we stuck together and we waited it out, and it's always worth it. Always worth it. Oh, and the water. The water we'll be getting is fresh water from the spring. Catalina Spring, the Landselman Spring, or the Bonnie View Hill Spring. Whichever spring is more convenient for the driver, or Lenny and whoever volunteers to go with him. You just go to the spring, you take your water bottles, 5-gallon jugs, just put them right up to the spring and fill your bottles with water, and that's it. And that's the water we'll be drinking, all the pure spring water that we bottle ourselves. And that in itself is an experience. Just driving up, like, I thought they were going to go get, nothing. I said, oh, yeah, here it is. You just pull over off the road, and, there's the rocks and the water just coming out of the rocks. It's amazing. I'm going to have to look through my photographs and post those because that was really fun. And let's see, daily sunlight. Netcher Ankh likes to do some sun gazing, so depending on our time, we will do some sun gazing, where we're able to receive benefit directly from the sun. A lot of Westerners say you shouldn't look directly at the sun, but we know that that's a very wonderful thing for us to be doing. And the accommodation is a lovely retreat home just a few minutes from Winifred Beach. You can walk to the beach if you feel like hiking, or we'll just get Lindy to drive us so we have time to get there and get back. And I don't have pictures of the yard behind us, but there's mango trees right there, so we can just take and go pick some mangoes. It's a beautiful 2-story home. We'll be sharing sleeping space, and then there's a nice big room for the class and a nice big room for the dining areas, all in one building, so we don't have to be walking back and forth, which was kind of time-consuming at the last retreat. So I looked for a different venue, so we'll just be all in one place. We'll probably set the massage tables up there on the patio, on the deck, and we'll have our yoga class in the beautiful grassy area behind the house with the mango trees and everything. And sometimes we'll actually go to the beach for our morning class. And this retreat center is just a few minutes up the road from the Blue Lagoon, so we're really close to the water, and we're planning to spend some time at the Rio Grande River so we can go rafting, planning to go to the Nanny Falls in Moortown. So we'll be spending a lot of time with water for our own healing journey and experience. And that looks like, oh, okay. It's a little bit more. I'm going to hopefully be done by 6. I didn't know this was going to be a 3-hour webinar, but I guess it is. Travel arrangement. The flights are not included in the package price. Please set your flights to arrive at 2 p.m. on January 8th, and then we have like a 4-hour ride to Portland from the airport, and then leave at 2 p.m. or later on Monday, January 16th. The plan is on Sunday night, we will spend time in Kingston at what's called a Dub Club, and then go out from the airport from there. Like usually my flight leaves at like 3 in the morning on Monday. So we'll spend some time at the Dub Club, which is now it's a huge tourist spot, but it's part of your Jamaican experience. So we'll go there and then just go to the airport. Usually we have, these are set for flying in and out of Kingston. And we'll have the transport staff that'll pick you up and drop you off in time for your flight. So if you had to do something like this on your own, the package would cost over $3,000. The training, the Chants classes, the accommodations, the food, transportation, the trips to Rebel Salute, and just some of the little extras that we have. It's $2,620, and it includes the 8 days in Jamaica, the transportation, the extra trips, the food, the lodging, trips around Portland, the KemeTones, Acutonic certification, the Chants training. It's regularly $19.95. We have a discounted price and payment plans available if you act now or act, soon. We're open to working out a payment plan for you, and we're really looking forward to this next journey. Maybe you're not ready to sign up right now, or you still have a lot of questions. You can contact me on my cell phone, 707-972-6831. You can email me at cosmic@thechia.com. For more information, visit the KemeTones website. You can sign up for the free class info kits, or you probably already have access to the web pages where this information is available. And, yep, I think the next slide, oh, yeah, and then I wanted to show you the page where you register if you're ready to. A couple of comments. Okay, got you. Well, if you lose anything, I'll be posting the replays or whatever later. So this is the page for when you're ready to register or make your payment. You buy the tuning forks, the tools. It's $425 plus shipping. The Solar 7 tuning forks are $150 plus shipping, and the activator belt is where you hit the tones, the tuning forks on your leg. You're not hitting your leg; you're hitting a piece of rubber. And there's also an extra large one available for the strap. And then you can make your payments in one payment, and I guess now there's only time to make 3 payments. Well, it depends on your schedule. Whatever payment plan you need, we can work that out. And that's the page where you make your payments. This is the KemeTones website page where it has all the information on the retreat, all the information that you need if you want to. And there's pictures from various retreats. There's a picture of Jamaica at the beach. This is the other beach. This one, some of the students in the class. So you can come to this website and look at the little slideshow. And that's what's going on over there. And that is the presentation. Oh, so yeah, so the retreat's coming up. And if you're having any issues with money, we have the Open Your Money Flow program. You can download this ebook, The Secret to Money Flow, that has 4 tips to help you open your money flow. And then also the OpenYourMoneyFlow.com website also has some suggestions. And then you can also sign up for a strategy session with me so we can see about opening your money flow. And these are the 4 steps in the ebook: the root chakra chant, the root chakra meditation, the Ho'oponopono for forgiveness, and setting your home up according to principles of feng shui to shift the energy flow. And that concludes the session. You can here's just a slide about getting a energy wealth analysis call so we can see about generating the revenue for this retreat. And this is the program I had for the program to open your money flow. So I just want to thank you for staying through this whole program. And for those of you who will be listening to the replay, thank you for taking the time to learn more about KemeTones, Cosmic Sound Healing. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in Jamaica in January. So thanks again to everyone who stayed on the call to the end. And if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to get in touch with me so we can get those answers. All right. It's almost 6. I don't know if there's anyone else that wants a meditation, or maybe you'll just tune into my full moon meditation I'm going to be posting later. It's already been a long session, so I think that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and post my full moon meditation, and you can tune into that later on during the full moon. Okay? All right. So I want to thank you again. Oh, great. Okay, I look forward to that, Heather. Thank you so much. And I will talk to all of you soon, either on the phone or online. And I will be posting the replay for the people that were not able to attend. And we'll be getting this work, this class, get the details, confirmed and get it going. So once again, I want to wish you Hatep, and I'll talk to you soon. One love.
One love.
One love.
Love.
Thank you.